I'm gonna start recording. So Sleep No More. Let me see. Well, first, before we get into anything, I have a theme song I want to share with y'all.
Okay, listening to this twice in one day, I'm not sure.
Hello, hello, hello. What a wonderful word. Hello, 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 hello. You can hear it wherever you go. A stranger in a strange place can't be nearer. But when you hear the hello song, it's dearer. Hello, hello, hello. What a wonderful word. Hello.
Hello.
Doesn't that just make you feel happy?
Yes.
Happy Friday.
Hello. Hello.
So, I'd love to know what your wife thinks
Of this? Of the show? So just for everybody, there's a show in New York called Sleep No More, or there was before the pandemic, that is an entire building. Here, let me see if I can share this. Share. Okay. Let's see.
My favorite part of the show is that it's never the same show twice. It's a lot different than performing on a proscenium theater, where you're always projecting outward and
It's 3
to
hours,
the balcony and to the back row, and the audience members
scenes
here,
happen
they are whatever row
around this
they want to be at any
5-story
given time.
building, and you walk from scene to scene.
In addition to Sleep No More, we have Gallo Green, which is a rooftop garden restaurant. Train station. And then it's members.
That's the one you were telling us about last.
Audience.
Yeah, I've gone
yeah.
there.
The building, which is several floors, several rooms.
Multiple floors,
and there's a
100
story
rooms.
that's playing out in the space, and then the audience, they wear a mask.
There's me.
And they get to sort of choose where they want to go based on their intuition or their impulses or what's drawing them. My favorite part of the show.
So it's this really cool thing, because if a bunch of audience members are gather in a room to watch a scene, and we're all standing there like this, because if you're in the audience, you have to wear this. We are the ghosts, like the actors. The actors perform their scene, and we watch and we see each other watching, right? So the act of watching becomes part of the scene, and if they have to get past you, they just kind of gently push you aside and walk past you. But here's the thing: when a scene is over, maybe one actor will leave by one entranceway and another actor will leave by the other entranceway. You have to decide if you're going to follow one of them or go somewhere else or what have you. And one of the best, the advice people have given is pick an actor, pick a character, and follow them through the story. And I found myself. Oh, and if you go with people like friends or significant others or whatever, assume you're going to get separated and go it alone. Yeah, it is. It's very much like Tacoma, Suyi. Of course, people like find each other, right? And you know, we went to Sleep No More on our big date. You don't want to do the whole thing by yourself, but that's what they recommend. So what happens is a scene ends and the actors leave, and once they leave a scene, they are booking it through the building very quickly, and the building is very dark, and you have to follow them to see the next bit of their experience, right? And if you're with someone, there's always this, do you want to follow them or do you want to follow them? And there's in the time it takes to make that decision, those actors are gone and you may not catch up with them or find them, right? Which is why they tell you to go it alone, because if you're alone, you say, I'm going to follow this guy, and you go, right? So what kept happening to me was I'm a big guy, right? Believe it or not, I know you can only see my head, but I'm 6'1" and over 300 pounds. And so I tend to gravitate towards the back of a crowd when there's a bunch of people, so that shorter, smaller people can see. I can see fine over their heads. But when actors booked, then all these people were in front of me trying to decide who to follow. And I lost like 4 actors because of people on dates in front of me not moving. And I couldn't, when I finally got out the door, those actors were long gone, and I'd have to just wander around until I found another scene. And that got me a little peeved. So eventually I just started throwing elbows. If people left, I'd just barrel. You get out of the way, people. If you can't make a decision, get out of the way, because I am following that guy. Right. And I did much better after I had no tolerance for my fellow human beings. So anyway, highly recommend it. I don't know if it'll come back, but it is this kind of established thing. I expect it to run there forever. Meanwhile, this is called Sleep No More. It is in New York, or it was in New York before the big virus. It started out in Cambridge, actually in Brookline, as part of the American Repertory Theater, but it moved to New York. Well, it went to New York and has been running there for 12, 13 years. So things happened yesterday. Want to share this with you? Share. I don't need sound. Share. So I got an email yesterday from the SKC organization. Remember, that was the website, that ARG website that I said, whoo, this looks like an ARG. And I applied for a job as an agent. So they say they'll be screening applicants later today, which is today, at which time we will send you directions for completing the next step in the application process. Okay. Feel free to contact us if you have any questions. SKC organization, which now we know is the Stone Keep Castle organization, which we didn't know before. We didn't know what SKC stood for. And then at the bottom of the email, we've got this, which is weird. So the first thing I'm going to do is Google that. And what do I get? I get the British Museum. That's the postal code of the British Museum. Okay, cool. And then below that, I get 22, 9, 14, 4, 15, 12, 1, 14, 4, 1. First thing I notice about all of those numbers is that they are lower than 26. So good bet is that they're just here, chat. Where's chat? Alt H. Nope. H. I've lost chat. Where's chat? Here it is. Chat. There we go. So I want to go to an alphabet. Yeah. So very quickly, I just started substituting that letter for that number. It's the easiest. It's easier than the Caesar cipher. So I copied and pasted here and then just counted, and I got Vindolanda. So and Vindolanda, I don't know what that is, but I already know that it is something to do with the British Museum. So I stuck it in here. Vindolanda, which searches the British Museum, and that gets me writing tablet, which is that, which you've already seen, which is a wood writing tablet with a party invitation written in 2 hands from Claudia Severa to Lapidna. And it's basically on 11th September, sister, for the day of the celebration of my birthday, I give you a warm invitation to make sure that you come to us to make sure to make the day more enjoyable for me by your arrival. Well, that's okay. That's interesting. But what does that have to do with Vindolanda? Back up here, it was found at Vindolanda in England, in Northumberland, Chesterholm. So let's click on Vindolanda. Vindolanda is in 1914 with the discovery of an inscribed altar. The Roman name for the fort that is today known as Vindolanda was confirmed. So this is a fort in England called Vindolanda. Previously, it was called Chesterholm, and I Googled Chesterholm, and sometimes that's spelled with an E. So now we know that Vindolanda is curated by Anthony Headley, or it was back then when this was discovered. And Vindolanda is the name given to the site of successive timber and stone forts and their adjacent settlements. And we Googled Vindolanda, and you can go to this place in Northumberland and see this Roman fort. And it's, it's a museum. It's a real museum. So, okay. So going back, go away, little bar. Going back to the SKC website. Remember this? We've got 2 password protections. And I have tried Vindolanda. I've tried Chesterholm, both spellings. We've now tried the, by the way, copy. If anybody else wants to try it, here's the website. I've tried Lapidnus or Lapidius or whatever. I tried all the names from the thing. Nothing has gotten me in. So I go back to the idea that they'll be screening applicants later today, and they'll send me directions for the rest of the application process. But as far as a rabbit hole, this is going pretty well. We found the website. We saw that there are passwords that we don't have, but we could send them an email. So we sent them an email. within 24 hours, they wrote back, and they gave us some stuff to do. The very first thing they gave us to do, we solved with a quick Google, British Museum. And the second thing they gave us to do, we decoded all by ourselves. Karen decoded it. I decoded it. I don't know if anybody else decoded it, but or if any of the rest of you sent them an email. But if you think about it, that is probably the simplest code you can possibly do. It's even simpler than the Caesar cipher. So that is interesting to me. And now we're at a point where we've done everything we can do, and it's told us they'll send more stuff. So cool.
I think I finally understand why you say to keep them simple, because honestly, I have to tell you, it was very satisfying to get that far.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, cool. Look how smart I am.
Exactly.
Boy, am I smart this afternoon.
Yeah. Every time you solve something like that, you get a little, oh, I'm smart.
And it was dumb. They're like stupid easy, like what you used to do when you were 8, but it still felt very satisfying.
Yeah. So my advice usually, especially for designers, which you all are, is to, if you think it's too easy, it's probably too hard. Make it as easy as you possibly can, especially at the beginning, right? Because you can always make things harder. You just leave out explanations and steps, and things get exponentially harder, right? But the problem is, especially at this very early attract mode stage of a game, you want people to solve it. I mean, the goal for this entire ARG experience is to have people complete it, right? I always tell the story. I'm sure if you've had classes with me before, I've probably told it. There was a Frontiers kid one year, and this was many years ago. He's probably older than all of you now. And that we were making Game Maker games, and he made a game where you play a knight. There's a little knight on the screen, and there's a dragon on the other side of the screen. And as soon as the game starts, the dragon breathes fire and kills the knight. And if you are not already pushing down, you will die. And every time, and he would watch people start his game, and every time somebody died immediately without doing anything, he would go, yes, got him, right? Because he had an adversarial relationship with his players. He was playing a multiplayer game with a zero-sum multiplayer where somebody had to win and somebody had to lose, right? And if a player completed his game, then he somehow felt like he lost. But if he killed the player while they were playing the game, then he won. Right? And that's not game design. That's multiplayer. That's thinking like a game player, not a game designer. Game designers want to provide an experience for the players. So you want people to solve your puzzles, right? You don't win if you make a puzzle that no one can solve, right? You actually lose because no one's playing your game. So you want a good experience for your players. Okay. So keep it simple at the beginning. I generally teach them how to play your game. They've already shown me in this game that that there are going to be codes. Oh, there's one other thing that Karen is responsible for. Where the heck is it? Did I lose it? There it is. Okay. Get to share again. Because Karen is wicked smart.
No, just go down a lot of rabbit holes.
Okay. So if we look at the video, remember that video from yesterday? There's the book back here, which is in Spanish, and in looking at it in the last hour or so, I said it's jurisprudencia.
Right. It is actually from the Supreme Court
of Spain?
Mexico.
Mexico. Okay, well, that's good to know. 1977. We don't know what this says. If anybody speaks Spanish and can read that, start translating.
I translated a little bit of it. And I think it's actually part of that book.
Part of the one below?
Book that's below it, yeah.
Okay.
I think it's sort of, because it says something like, by the blue lake and still night, climb up the space, and then something when you touch the window glass. I did not see it as it says, and singing the fortunate lover, so whatever. I don't know that it.
Okay.
Those are just a few sentences. I don't think the letter has anything to do with any of it.
Okay. And then down here, yesterday we identified tercer acto as third act or act 3. And Karen Googled la sala de la casa de Serebriakov, which the giveaway there is Serebriakov is not a Spanish or Latin American name. It's Russian. And Googling this will get you that this is the Spanish version of a play by Anton Chekhov called The Seagull, which is a classic play. And just a little facts that I know off the top of my head is that The Seagull is written in 4 acts. So the third act is not the end, and I have a copy of The Seagull around here somewhere. Actually, it's probably in my office. But I can read it if I want. I'm sure it's online. This might be the letter might be a prop from The Seagull. Like there's all sorts of letters and stuff that the characters send each other. So maybe
it kind of seems like it might have been a prop, or like, because the language that they're using is sort of like a love letter.
Yeah. So The Seagull, here I can play. Let's see. There was a movie that came out in 2018. You can buy or rent it right here on. It's listed as a drama movie, but The Seagull is a comedy. Anyway, here's The Seagull. PG-13.
As summer begins, the guests arrive.
Summer.
Good evening.
Well, sit down, join us.
Isn't she adorable?
Even the thought of her makes my heart race.
No, don't be shy. He's a celebrity, but he has a simple soul.
Boris Trigorin, he's so famous. He looked young.
He is young and accomplished, don't remind me.
The stage is set
Hello.
Hello.
Who's that you were talking to? Nina.
Yes.
for a little family drama.
Have you seen Nina?
She went to the lake with Boris.
It's not often I have the occasion to meet young, interesting women.
What does it feel like to be famous?
Masha, why is my son so depressed?
He's heartsick. What's that supposed to mean?
Constantine!
I love Constantine. Such a face, such a marvelous voice. You must go on the stage.
I envy you. You're happy.
Please, be generous. Let me go.
What, are you that infatuated with her?
Why do you always wear black?
I'm in mourning for my life.
I'm the reason for your misery these past 20 years.
I've only been miserable the past 10.
Sorry. I love that.
The other.
Oh my.
And all the laughter and the noise. And the love affairs. So many love affairs.
The Seagull.
I am going to tear this love out of my heart.
How are you going to do that?
I'll get married.
Oh. Tear the love out of your heart by
That's
getting
how you-
married.
Yeah, that's how you get rid of love. You get married.
Awesome.
I'm in mourning for my life. Yes, exactly. That's one of the great quotes from the play. Very good play. And lots of times they put in, when it's performed, it's deadly serious, and all of Chekhov's plays, or most of them, are comedies, and should be played as comedies. And he's making fun of these rich people mostly, and they're comedies of manners and such. So, but it's serious classic drama, so it must be serious. So it looks like that movie, at least, and I've now put in for that movie. It's coming on DVD via Netflix, because I still have the DVD subscription to Netflix, because actually I have Blu-ray now, because it's better. So it looks like they're playing it like a comedy rather than serious drama. So that's where we are with the SKC ARG. I'm very excited about it. They seem to be doing it right with tiny little puzzles, especially at the beginning, that you can solve, and little facts that hopefully will pay off later. The fact that that's the seagull will hopefully pay off later, and the idea that the play they reference is a comedy, hopefully will, and that they found an ancient Roman birthday invitation is kind of cute. So hopefully this will be a lighthearted ARG and not something horrible and terrible, but you never know. So keep it simple, especially at the rabbit hole. I'm already over it's 4:34. I'm going to start making breakout rooms.
Is there anybody who needs me to come into their breakout room?
4 p.m. Oh, there we go. No, I want this over here. Okay. Rename, writing, rename, gameplay, rename tech, and we don't have recruiting, so we only have 4. I keep doing that. So assign writing or art. We're doing art. Rachel and Yassine and Hanwen and Clarissa and Suyi. There we go. Next, writing. Xavier. No Xavier today. Jaden. Ben. Stanley. And Griffin. Okay, gameplay is Zach, Jake, somebody else that I forget. I think Jonathan. Okay.
Jonathan, yeah.
Yeah. And
Are you going to gameplay first?
me? I don't know. I'm gonna ask the what is this, tech? I'm gonna ask the producers where they're going, and then I would go somewhere. Tech, Nick, Winnie, and Yang Chen. Shane, where am I supposed to put you? Oh, Yang Chen is in gameplay? Okay.
Shane is in tech.
Okay. Okay, hold on. Unassigned. Shane is in tech. Yang Chen. Hao Chen is in tech. Yang Chen is in gameplay. Mike, where would you like to go?
Can I start with writing?
Sure. Annie, where would you like to go? Oh, you know what I forgot? I forgot to make co-hosts. Yes. Co-host. Yes. Where's Emily? Emily, where did I put Emily?
Didn't Annie do this? No?
Annie should be somewhere. I forget where she is. Gameplay. Okay. Where would you like to go, Karen?
I'll go to gameplay. I'm curious about how they're doing.
Okay.
And you still have Tusi. I don't know if you knew that. Or she hasn't gone or moved.
He
or
has
whatever.
not joined Suyi. I don't know why.
There she goes.
Zach is playing things like a fiddle. I don't know why. You know what I didn't do? I manage participants. Let's go to breakout rooms. Who am I? Michael. Okay.
Yeah, I don't. That's actually gonna happen.
Yeah, we don't have any plans for that, I don't think.
Well, they haven't told us otherwise. But that's what they gave us.
Mike,
I think gameplay still needs to figure out that whole thing. Because I don't know if Zoom is going to work out.
I got to pull you out to the main room for a sec, Mike.
Okay.
I can't make you a co-host while you're in a breakout room. So you couldn't have left and gone somewhere else. But now you can. You're a co-host.
Okay, awesome.
Okay, go back to writing. Okay, back to it.
And if like they only need for like, let's say 2, and the rest of us can just start away to work on the fairy royalty person, and then not like wasting time doing too many fairies that they don't even need.
Yeah, here I just sent a ping to the writers team in their Discord, so you can like check.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it seems.
So what's going on with the vinaigrette?
Oh, yeah, James is like 4 or 5. So yeah, like four fairies is. It seems like that's how many they want.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
So yeah, if everyone finishes like their fairies, then we'll be good on those. Hi, Dean. Oh, you're muted.
I have nothing to say. That's why I muted myself. I'm just bopping from group to group. I'd rather you guys work than I pontificate more. So I'm muting myself.
Anyway, since you finished yours here, would you rather like look for pictures for the vinaigrette website, or maybe like hope like you get started on like fairy royalty?
I can help with the vinaigrette. I don't really. Did they decide on a web layout yet?
I thought it kind of weird that they like asked art team to like figure out like a web layout, but like I sent like them like the like super like rough doodles from last night. So they like said they like that. I don't know if they would want a more detailed web layout.
Yeah, this one's not this is not the rabbit hole one, right? The bugle one's a rabbit hole.
Right, I think like the bugle hole is the rabbit hole, but then like they were gonna have that like points to like, or have like the editor point them towards the vinaigrette website for like the first puzzle.
So what does the what do they need in the vinaigrette website?
Or like they're hiding a thing in the HTML code that, and then like vinaigrette sounds, and like the name of the brand, it like sounds like a type of like cipher, I think, is from what I understand. So like it like sounds similar to the type of cipher, and then like I think that the key for it, like they're hiding it in the HTML.
Interesting. Wait, how does that point to HTML?
I think they're expecting people to just like poke around in it, since like they're being like pointed to that website.
What if they like?
I'm not sure what the editor like message to the player is saying. So I'm not sure like if the editor might like point them towards the HTML in there.
I wonder. Well, I don't know what they want for the art then. If they make it look like a normal website.
I was trying to like think of like what like a store website for like that the Blazes brand would look like. So yeah, I figured it'd have like a product page with like their like various like salad dressing ish products, and probably like a home page, and like the news page with like the ad that we gave them.
I wonder, to make somebody poke at a HTML website, is it better to make it look super weird so it makes them want to look into the source code instead of making it look normal, so then they would focus on the content?
I think this one was like supposed to be like a normal website, because like the bugle was like supposed to be like the weird glitchy one.
Okay. I need to know what specific sections they're like Are they going to put images for something to know what images to look for?
I think that the clue image was the ad that we already have. So like we already have like the main clue image. Like the rest of the images we need are just to like make it look like an actual like website.
Oh, so is the website like trying to advertise vinaigrette or something?
Yeah, I think it's like the Blazes like website where they're like selling their products like vinaigrette. And I assume like someone that could sell vinaigrette would be like other like salad dressing related products too.
So should you look for like specifically images of salad with basically vinaigrette on it or other dressings on it?
Find like stuff like like salads and like if you can find like bottles that like aren't labeled
and all that fun stuff and what gameplay elements are going to be using.
Yeah, I'm not really sure who this would be for. This would probably be something the leads would all talk about, is just figuring out more of, because like now we have kind of a general plan. So now would probably be a time to figure out, okay, what exactly is going to happen, so then everyone can get more down to the actual grunt work so that we have all the pieces we need to make each day.
And the exact details are very dependent on what gameplay elements you want in the game, because we have to make sure the story fits around that.
Right. So that's what I'm thinking. If it hasn't happened, there definitely like has there been like a lead meeting of just figuring out?
I have no idea.
Well, this would be a question for Mike.
Yeah, I don't think there's been like many lead meetings. I know last night there was like I know the gameplay met last night. I know before that we had the writing and gameplay kind of combo.
Because there definitely there needs to be some kind of meeting where we figure out, okay, what do we need each day from each person? Like now we're starting to kind of figure out where we're like, okay, we need this article written for the first day. And we figured out a couple things that like art needs, and we figured out like a few things. Gameplay has started working on a puzzle or two, or I don't know how many.
Text, you'll just paste it in and then you'll be good.
All right.
Hello, Dean.
Hi, I have nothing to say. I'm just bopping from meeting to meeting.
Okay.
I'd rather
All right.
you work than me pontificate.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, we're a little like.
You don't have things to do?
No, like I feel like gameplay and writing needs to like give us stuff to do.
Okay.
We know like we just divided up when he's gonna do our rabbit hole website and how he's gonna do our disclaimer page, and I'm gonna create the Discord server for the players to communicate, and that's all we feel like we can really do right now.
Okay. Let me bop over to writing, which is where Nick is, and I will convey that.
Okay.
I don't know. I think we.
Oh. Hey guys.
Hey.
Just came from tech.
Okay.
And they're feeling like they need instructions. They know like 3 things to do, which is set up a Discord server and set up the rabbit hole website and the disclaimer page. But beyond that, they don't know what to do for anything throughout the course of the arc. So they're waiting for instructions from writing and or gameplay, they say.
All right. Well, it looks like everyone is waiting on everyone else, which means we're stalled.
Okay.
So
we
need to have more.
I think maybe if we just get our character Bibles finished and out to everybody else, gameplay can use those to start putting together character, like individual character interactions and puzzles, and then direct tech from there, maybe.
Okay. I'm going to bop over to gameplay and see if they have plans for anything that needs tech. Okay.
Okay. We might also just need to go back
for that without knowing more about what's going on.
Hi. I was just over with tech, and
Yes.
they feel like they're kind of standing around waiting to know what to do. They're setting up the rabbit hole website and the disclaimer page and a Discord server for people to talk to each other, but that comes down from on high, aka me. And as far as any tech that you guys need for gameplay, if you need something, they don't know about it. Okay, so
Like a web page with the Visionary thing key embedded in the HTML, that would go to tech.
Yeah, that website already exists.
okay, well,
We had them make it
that,
like on Wednesday or so.
okay, well, I'm kind of passing this on to you, Mike. We got dependencies going on that
Yeah, I'm
it
trying to
feels
get the
like
info
people are
back.
waiting on each other, and everybody's waiting to hear from some other group, and every other group is like, why are they waiting on us? Same Art seems to be making fairies.
Yes.
And figuring they'll use them somewhere. I don't know. We'll make fairies, right? So we need a little bit of coordination here.
I think there is like, I would appreciate it if maybe we on Monday or next class, or if you could get one of the writers to just type a cohesive narrative, not in bullet point form.
Okay.
That I can actually like understand, because I'm having trouble understanding the exact plot that we're supposed to be working towards.
Okay. I am going to go to writing and tell them to do that right now. Bye.
Yeah.
Hi, gang.
Oh.
Just came from writing, or came from gameplay. What they would like from you
Excellent. Yes.
is a cohesive narrative that is not in bullet points, aka a story that begins at A and ends at Z, in a page or so, written like a story. Because the gameplay people are confused about the story.
That
Like,
does make
that-
some
do that.
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. These are good things.
That's what
It's great. This is being recorded.
Perfect. I'm just going to put thing.
And if you can get that to them no later than Monday, probably earlier than Monday, that would be great.
The story is
we can
that
get it to them this weekend.
Okay.
But we've discussed the story We've discussed the story coherently before multiple times.
Yeah,
before,
but we
right?
haven't written it down.
Yeah. And honestly, it's if they're saying they don't understand, like, it's on you to help them understand. Just like if you say you don't understand something, it's on me to explain it again, right? So I always take it as, well, I didn't explain that well. Let me try again and do a different tact. Okay, so we are over time. I'm gonna start sending messages to everybody. I'm going to the main.
So we don't have a quiz this week that I have to grade. I'm
Oh
grading.
no, there is one.
Is there? Okay. So grading
This
the
is
quiz.
the last one.
Grading the quiz, grading D&D stuff.
Yeah.
I reached out to some of the people because I got URLs that were not accessible. They were locked or behind a password or.
Yeah. That's half the battle.
So hopefully they went in and they changed that today. I'll start over again.
Okay. I am shutting down. I think we're good.
Cool.
Okay, I am gonna stop the recording here.